So you want more? Well, who am I to deny you? Chantel truly is the content gift that keeps on giving. And Chantel, thank you. Thank you for continuously providing me with content. I love it so much. Some would say I love it the most. So while I work on getting the clips together for a more serious video regarding Chantel's obvious racism, in which she does things such as comparing a black woman to coal, I wanted to show you what she's doing now, what my best friend is doing day to day in her present, because she likes to think that everything people bring up about her is in her past. She's a new woman now. She's changed, which means people should just leave the past behind them. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to leave Chantel's past where apparently it belongs, and I'm going to talk about the now. Now, some may consider this video reaching and that it doesn't in any way, shape or form compare to some of the other more egregious things that she has done. And I could see where you'd be coming from, but what I think this video does do is show the blatant disrespect Chantel has for the people around her. Now, I love her dearly, obviously, and I know that Chantel thinks everything revolves around her. I'm going to show you why I think what she did recently was so disrespectful, so ignorant. So here we see Chantel and her son, Salah, going out for a family meal. Now, while this is a public restaurant, I would like to remind you that this is private property. This area is owned by the restaurant. People come here to have time to spend with their families. And I know that this is something Chantel truly admires about the Middle East. She respects and admires the privacy they put on people, especially women. And I know this because she's told us herself.
I love the privacy, I have to say.
She loves the privacy. She loves knowing that when she goes into these buildings, she can feel safe and comfortable in her own skin to share a meal with family and friends, which is exactly what the other women in this restaurant were trying to do. Now, I am going to show you some screenshots from the recent video. In the actual video, we do see some women's faces quite clearly. However, I don't feel comfortable showing them. I'm instead going to show you screen grabs from the video once their faces have been covered. This isn't making sense, but it will. So while in this restaurant, Chantel decided it'd be completely appropriate to film. Now, maybe it's me, but when I go to eat in a public setting, even if it is an open restaurant and other people are going to be there, I still expect some semblance of privacy for my meal. Not at a tourist attraction. I'm not anywhere I would expect to see a camera. And I'm sure Chantel was very respectful and tried to keep people out the background. She purposely wasn't ignoring the fact that women in the background were covering their faces when they noticed the camera. Again, if you watch this video, you'll see quite clearly many of the women in this video make eye contact with the camera and then proceed to cover their faces. But again, I'm just going to show you the screenshots to be respectful once their faces have been covered. A bit closer up where this woman is clearly hiding her face. Now, why would you do that? Don't you want to be in Chantel's vlog? Don't you want to be exposed to her nearly 100,000 subscribers for everyone to see without your permission? You wouldn't want that. And another one here. Let's have a closer look, shall we? Again, I would like to remind you, this isn't just people resting their arms on the table. In the video, they clearly make eye contact, see a camera is in fact recording them, and then proceed to hide their selves and their identity from the camera. And I bet you think I don't have any more examples of this happening. And I know what you're thinking. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure Chantel didn't notice while she was filming that the people around her didn't want to be included, or she didn't notice while she was editing that the people were clearly uncomfortable in the background. But I'm sure once people brought it to her attention, which they did, she would take the video down or spend just a few minutes out of her very busy day to blur the faces of the people around her. That's what she would do, right? Rather than correct her behaviour and admit that it was a simple mistake that she happened to overlook and to go through with proper measures to keep these women's privacy a secret, she finds another example. This here is a famous travel blogger, as she likes to tell us. Chantel considers this a good reason as to why in a private restaurant she should be allowed to do the same. Clearly, I'm just not as clever as Chantel is, because in my mind, if I was going to this mall, which is, after just 2 seconds of research, the second largest mall in the entirety of the Middle East, I would expect to see cameras. This would be what I would consider a tourist destination. Cameras would be expected. A private restaurant where I'm having a meal with my family and friends, not so much. But it must be me. I'm just the idiot. And that filming in a private restaurant on private property is definitely okay, and that she should no way in any shape or form go back through her footage and just edit out the clips of these women or blur their faces. Again, I know she's a very busy woman. Her son is very hard to look after and fun. So as she finishes We don't intend to disrespect anyone, but we're just going to ignore the fact that these women clearly didn't want to be on camera. That's definitely not disrespectful. So why do I consider this hypocritical? Just before Chantel left to go to Kuwait again this past time, while out in public on a public sidewalk in the street, she was spotted by one of her followers who simply filmed her as she walked past. And this upset Chantel very, very much. She accused this person of stalking her, which I would consider a serious accusation.
And took a video of me walking. Or like, no, I'm not even, I don't know what's wrong with them. They have the blackest souls, they're disgusting people. And I'm glad to be far away from their stalker.
Stalkers with the blackest soul. And what does Chantel want to do to the people that she doesn't like? What's her retaliation? How does Chantel respond to people criticising her behaviour?
I hope I find where you work, because I'll be forwarding them all of your videos.
So that's it for today. I am trying to work out why I think Chantel gets this angry and upset. I do have a running fear.
Considering that you're so miserable online, it's very evident that you're not being touched.
Maybe my girl, my best friend, just isn't being touched. I understand. That can make everyone a little bit crabby. Well, that could be the crabs. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I hope you see where I was coming from with this video. I know it was a bit mismatched trying to explain without showing certain clips out of respect. Because, you know, I try and be respectful. That's it for today. Thank you, Chantel, for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Milky out.